Is this truly a launch of a cinematic universe, or did it come crashing down? Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, we're taking a look at Supergirl from 2026. Alright, so this film follows Supergirl, Kara Zor-El, as she is trying to find her home, essentially. She doesn't really have a place in the universe, and she happens upon a planet where she is not having her superpowers, and she encounters a girl who had just lost her family. A bunch of marauders just killed their family and took their well-known family weapons, and she tries to enlist, the young girl tries to enlist Kara, Supergirl, to help her. And it just so happens, as they're trying to recruit each other, Crypto gets poison dart by these marauders, and now Kara's on a revenge mission of trying to get the antidote and also help this girl discover that she doesn't really need to kill for revenge and to get closure. Okay, so that was kind of a sloppy synopsis, but it is what it is. I'm trying not to spoil too much. It's pretty much everything you saw in the trailer. All right, so this film was bad. I can't sugarcoat it. It wasn't a good movie. Pretty much nothing about it was really well done. All of the advertisements and really the aesthetics of the film, they're trying to hearken upon, James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. They're really trying to make you feel those feels from the advertisement and even the way this particular film is shot. It does have a particular style to it, and they do try to incorporate some music, and they use more modern music than kind of James Gunn historical music in this one. So they try to infuse the fun there, but there really is no fun to be had in this film, and that's the big problem. It's not a fun adventure. It's very much a adventure of a bunch of like put together scenes that don't have a strong narrative structure. Yes, she's trying to help save Crypto, and that's the ticking clock of this film. But you don't really feel the weight of that and the emotion behind that. It gets lost and gets put on the back burner for these scenes to progress. And there are some decent action sequences and set pieces in the film, but for the most part, it's very not great humor. The action is just okay. And the big thing is, it's a bunch of conveniences to get the plot moving forward. The big problem I had was there was no rhyme or reason on why Supergirl would lose her powers. Yes, she was on planets with not yellow suns and things like that, with red suns and things like that. But then she'd be on planets with yellow suns and still not have her powers and get her ass kicked. And then all of a sudden she gets her powers. And it just to make the plot move forward and to show her vulnerability, they decided to do things that I don't feel like were well structured and well plotted out. The villain of this film, and I don't even remember his name, and I didn't even take the time to look it up before scheduling this review, was an incredibly underwhelming villain. It really had no stakes in Supergirl and things like that. She happened to crash with this girl who had a legitimate reason to go after this villain, but the villain really had a paper thin reason for killing this girl's family, and I won't get into it, but the sequence that she kills the family I thought was very dumb and very just kind of abrupt, and didn't really give me much faith that this is going to be a super evil villain that I really care about. And he's uncharismatic and very awkward and things like that. And I know I'm kind of rambling here, but there's just so much wrong with this film. The villain isn't an engaging villain that you really want to see the comeuppance or things like that. It's just like he's just an awkward, weird dude that just kind of does bad things, but not really that bad throughout the film. You only really see the one thing, and they really kind of hearken on what Mad Max Fury Road did in regards to like child trafficking and taking women and things like that. So it does kind of touch on that subject. So if that really triggers you, kind of warning for that. It gets into that, but it doesn't go too far with that. But yeah, so yeah, the big thing is, yeah, you just don't feel the weight of trying to save crypto, which is Supergirl's main focus of the film. So the main motivator, your main superhero that is going through, you don't feel the weight of that. And if you know the background of the comics, there really isn't much stakes there at all, anyways. So it's just all for naught. And I go back to it. The film just wasn't fun. It was paced weirdly. They have a bunch of repeated jokes that are just very crass and crude and not funny throughout the film. Again, it was attempting to be a Guardians clone, but it just never hit the pacing. It never hit the character moments and things like that. I know this film is getting pretty well praised in regards to Millie Alcock's performance, and I thought she did all right. She was given a range of playing a bunch of different levels of the character, and I thought she did a well enough job with that. So I will give the film kudos to that. I thought she did a good job of hitting there were comedic beats, but they were not good. Her playing a vulnerable character, her playing an emotional character, her playing an angry character. So you do hit all the emotions and things like that. So from that perspective, it was pretty good. The child actor they got was not good. With what they gave her was very annoying and very repetitive. There was very little growth until the end of the film, and was just kind of this annoying sidekick character that you had to deal with for the entire runtime. Again, the villain, unengaging, awkward, weird, not clear motivations on why Supergirl and him are intervening with each other. It just kind of came out of nowhere, and you get it because he hurt the dog, but that just kind of again came out of nowhere, and I didn't feel like that was a strong narrative structure to get her into action and going throughout the universe chasing after him. So okay, I digress. I'm going to give this film a 2 out of 5 stars. I don't think this is setting up the new DC universe very well at all. A bunch of friends of mine and I watched this film together, and we all kind of had a consensus of like, we don't understand the direction that this franchise is going. I'm very much a big James Gunn fan, and I thought the first Superman film in this rebooted universe was very well done, and I thought it was a great film. But with where they're going, and now the next film being Clayface, and then doing a Green Lantern TV show, it just, you don't feel the strategic direction and really building and ramping up. And I won't take credit for this take, but it's like, yes, very much. You build Superman, you build Batman, you build Wonder Woman, and like you really build up this franchise with your big name characters. It's a very slam dunk thing. These are very popular characters. So why don't you make really great films featuring these characters and build up to a Justice League, which, you know, would very much model the incredibly successful MCU with the Avengers. And I would say, yeah, the characters of the Justice League are much bigger, well-known characters besides maybe Spider-Man in the Avengers group. So it's like, I don't know what they're doing. It seems very unfocused, and this particular film was just a big, massive letdown. And the projections for the box office are really telling that. So I don't know. I don't know what to think. Let me know in the comments. Did you see this film? What do you think of it? Are you excited for what they're planning on doing in the future? I don't know. What do you think? Let me know. I really appreciate it. If you could like the video, share it, things like that. Subscribe to the channel. I'll hopefully have a lot more reviews coming out over the course of the summer, and a lot more takes. I'm hoping to get a film that I really like. I know I've been pretty negative on this channel. People that know me, I typically am very challenging for films. I don't give them the immediate credit. I critique quite a bit, and very much I can give some insight on that. I'm very much a person from the get. You get the first like 10 to 15 minutes, and that's usually up through the inciting incident to really grip me and grab me and like let me just viscerally enjoy whatever I'm watching, be it a horror, be it comedy, be it whatever. As long as I'm engrossed and engaged with what is going on, then I typically let loose the critical barriers of the film and just kind of let it free flow. But if you don't grip me and grab me in that first amount of time, I'm gonna freaking nitpick and everything throughout the film, and really say, where I think things should have gone better and things like that. So that's very much just my nature. I can't just be a person that's overly positive about everything. So, but if I really like something, I really like something, and I'll really talk about it too. So, hopefully, we'll get some films this summer that really hit those strides. But I think I've been pretty on the negative side more recently on the channel. But let me know in the comments what you think about that. Really appreciate it. All right, well, this is the second review in a row. Hopefully, these will be out in quick succession on the channel. Really appreciate it. And if I don't see you again, bye forever.